This is problem number 11 from section 2.2. This problem says, in 2011, online sales were 191 billion. And in 2014, there were 239 billion in sales. Find a linear function S that models these data, where S is the sales in billions of dollars and X is the year. Write S of X in slope-intercept form. Then they want us to interpret the slope, and they want us to determine when online sales were 223 billion. So let's start by doing part A, which is writing the function. Well, if you remember from section 2.1, we basically have two coordinates here. We've got 2011, there was 191 billion, and then we have 2014, and there were 239 billion. So if we go ahead and use some of the stuff that we remember from section 2.1, which is how to find slope first of all, and then we're going to use point slope form to find the slope intercept form. Right? We're going to write it like this, and we're going to put it in y equals mx plus b form. So let's go ahead and find the slope first. So we're going to say m equals 239 minus 191 over 2014 minus 2011. That's what, 39 and 9, 48. So we get 48 over 3, which reduces to 16. So our slope is 16. So let's go ahead and use that slope with point slope form now. We can say y minus, and we'll use this coordinate here, we'll call this x1, y1. So y minus 191 equals 16, x minus 2011. They want it in slope-intercept form. See that right there? So let's go ahead and distribute here. So we get y minus 191 equals 16x. We'll take 16 times 2011. That's minus 32,176. We're going to add the 191 over. When we add the 191 over, we get y equals 16x minus 31,985. So that is our equation for this problem, right, for this data set. It's a linear line, right, connecting this point with this point. And now in part B, we're going to go ahead and circle that. Now in part B, they want us to interpret the slope. So what does the slope mean? Well, let's take a look at what we did. We did 239 billion minus 191 billion over, basically over 3 years. So we did 48 billion over 3 years, which came up to be 16 billion per year. So we could say online sales increase 16 billion per year. That's the interpretation of the slope. That's what this is telling us. When we found the slope, they're telling us that each year, right, once you divide this out, each year you're getting 16 billion more in sales. Okay. So now that we've used those two, we have an equation. They say determine when online sales were 223 billion. So C, online sales being 223 billion, well, let's go ahead and use 223 billion. We know that they tell us right here, S is the sales in billions, which in our case, we could write this as, I guess we didn't write this. We said y equals 16x minus 31. We could change this equation to say S of x, and maybe that's a good idea to do, right? We can replace the y with S of x is 16x minus 31,985. So this just puts it in function form. We know S of x, they say that right here, is the sales in billions. So they give us 223 billion. We'll put in 223 right here. So we'll say 223 equals 16x minus 31985. And we're looking for what year? So we're going to add that over. So let's see, 31985 plus 223 gives you 32208 equals 16x. Let's divide by 16 then. And it gives you 2013 is x. So in the year 2013, that's when the sales were 223 billion.